My mic was muted. What's going on, Drea? Welcome to the stream. Welcome in everybody watching. Couple things to talk about today in the gaming news. Not a whole lot. Got an article with for Resident Evil 9 that I forgot to touch on yesterday, so we'll go over that and some couple other things to talk about before we continue our playthrough. Hopefully we can finish the game today. Resident Evil 1 OG. Hoping we can finish it. Because I don't think any other news has came out from Gamescom and all those interviews and stuff. I think we covered most of what was released and announced. So. Turn that down a little bit. All right, let's get it going. Sure I can see that. So this is by Game Informer. Let me see this. Boom. Project Wesker upload anything? I don't think so. He probably doesn't even know, like, that we were talking about him. Unless somebody, like, stumbled upon the stream and shared it with him. I'm not too worried about it, though. I might, like I said, I might make a video that's, like, more kind of well thought out and, like, talk about it. Because I just feel like it's unnecessary to be toxic and negative. And he's also very contradicting in what he says. But, yeah. We'll probably make a more thought out video and edit it up and probably post it to the channel. But here we go. We got Capcom doesn't think of Resident Evil 7, 8, and 9 as a trilogy. Last week, I traveled to Cologne, Germany to attend Gamescom and play more than 24 games. One of those games was Resident Evil Requiem, the 9th mainline installment in Capcom's long-running survival horror series. Although it was the same demo from June's Summer Game Fest event in Los Angeles, featuring Grace Ashcroft in a decrepit care center attempting to escape from a monstrous creature stalking the halls, it was still my first time playing it. You can read my hands-on preview thoughts in the demo Gamescom preview roundup here, but it was only half of my Requiem experience last week. I also sat down to interview Requiem director Koshi Nakanishi and producer Masatoku Mizawa. In our 30-minute interview, we discussed the type of horror the team is aiming for in Requiem, why it was time for a return to Raccoon City and zombies, the difference between the game's third-person and first-person gameplay, and more. So I think most of this we know, but the reason why I wanted to read this because somebody said in this interview or in this article from Game Informer that they said something about Lisa Trevor, if I'm not mistaken. There's like so many articles and like updates coming out. It's kind of crazy. But we'll read it and we'll figure it out. Game Informer editor Wesley LeBlanc. Every Resident Evil has a theme. Biohazard was about a southern backwoods family, and Village was Resident Evil's take on classic Universal monsters. How would you describe the horror theme of Requiem? Director Koshi Nakanishi says, we've been emphasizing in marketing materials, return to Raccoon City, and that we're returning to the main storyline of the series and looking to push it forward with horror. Yeah, because 7 and 8 was definitely like, well, some people say 7 was considered like a soft reboot, but also 7 and 8, it did kind of branch away from like the main storyline. Because like the main storyline definitely consistently featured the main characters from Resident Evil, and you played as them, whereas like 7, you're kind of playing as this ordinary side character and whatnot. I still think it's Lisa. I don't care what anyone says. Maybe an Lisa hybrid. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely not writing off the Lisa theory, man. Like we said yesterday, there's just way too many similarities and too much coincidence to write it off. Even if Nakanishi said that it wasn't her. Like, he could easily just be saying that. But, yeah, where? Let's see. If you play the demo using characters like Grace and the creature you saw, we introduced this storyline and theme, and they're quite unique as an approach for Resident Evil. The fact you said that makes me think it is her. Yeah. One of the elements that you can expect to return is zombies. They are back, which is nice. We are focusing more on the monsters, a variety of different enemies, from the creature you saw in the demo to the next level. The next version of our zombies. The next version. So we're going to have some crazy updated zombies. Not like normal shuffling around, moaning zombies. Or we're going to have like... Are we going to have running zombies? What kind of zombies are we talking here? Oh, man. You trip as Grace in third person, but not in first person. Why is that? We basically already know that. Let's see. Looks like she's walking around straight with no reaction. It was unnatural. First person is already more immersive. Zombies on steroids, like in Dead Island 2. Oh, God. That'd be crazy. It would be interesting. Like, how could they push zombies further? Would it be like you said, like, steroided out zombies, or zombies that are just further mutated? Because I found, isn't like when a zombie further mutates, they basically become a licker? Or is that just in the movies? Very interesting to see what the next version of zombies would be in Resident Evil. Alright. Surprise reaction she does in the demo. In third person, something might happen if you see her jump, whereas in first person, there's a bit of a camera move instead. When she takes damage or gets hit, there's no need to do much in first person, but there are specific animations in third person. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's natural. Say, is it fair to say that third person is harder with other animations that slow down gameplay? We don't want to be unfair, so we'll give you a little peek behind the curtain. When you trip, you can't see it, but the creature doesn't move. Third person never feels like an unfair advantage. So it's definitely balancing it out. They're not going to make it to where they purposely make you trip and fall and allow the creature to catch up to you. Why return to Ashcroft family now? And why pick a family from the Outbreak series? Alyssa Ashcroft was actually the perfect character for our needs in this game. There really was no other character in mind. Returning to Raccoon City after all this time meant looking back on the incident itself and Umbrella and the themes we haven't visited in a while. Alyssa is a survivor of the incident, and she goes on a journalistically investigate, find the truth, expose the cover-up. But she pays the price for curiosity, presumably gets too close to the truth, and someone or some entity has killed her to silence her. Grace, being the character to take up the torch from her mother after all these years, wants to find the truth after the incident and the murder of her mother. 2 generations of Ashcrofts are the perfect choice for our storytelling and moving the main series forward. I'm cheating and reading ahead, but he does talk about Big Mama. Can you talk to me a bit about the hulking creature design in the demo? What are some of the inspirations behind it? Nakanishi says, we had a lot of different concepts through the design phase, so to be honest, there's not any one particular inspiration from other works. The main objective has been, with quite a few games with stalker enemies and different variations, for her to stand out from the pack. The main single-sentence summary of her is, as you lay your eyes on her, you know this isn't right. You need to get away from this. Requiem has a few definitions. What does it mean in the context of the game? Nakanishi says it's all along the lines of remembrance for the dead. As we discussed earlier, Alyssa and Grace are a key family relationship that kicks everything off. Alyssa's murder, Grace's grief, her desire to avenge, her desire to solve her mother's murder, and the aftermath of Raccoon City incident. Lies. Can you expand on the line, this is merely the overture to our darkest symphony yet? Nakanishi says, the musical allusions are a callback to the title, using a musical metaphor to say this is a requiem for the mass of the dead. Even when you watch the SGF presentation, or if you played this same section yourself and think this is dark and scary, this is just the beginning. It's our way of tying together the title and the metaphor and saying, if you think this is scary, you haven't seen anything yet. Whew. Yeah, center that up. Not one particular inspiration, you sure about that? Yeah, what's up, Gunslinger? Yeah, Yeah, him to say like there's not one particular inspiration. Come on now. Does that mean Requiem is the scariest Resident Evil yet? Nakanishi says, that's a bit of a tricky question. I directed Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I know for a lot of players it was too scary. So scary they couldn't finish it. I'm not aiming to make the scariest Resident Evil ever. It will be very scary, but I want you to get through the whole thing and enjoy it. Nothing much, just stopping by. I appreciate that. It's about a release of tension and a catharsis to actually surviving it, but it's certainly up there in terms of how scary Requiem is. Camera perspective changes are a part of this. If you feel too scary at first person, jump out to third person. But overall, we're aiming to have a roller coaster ride of a thrilling, well-paced storyline. See, that's what I was talking about with the whole wavelength system. It seems like this game's gonna be like very well-paced. I grew up believing 4 was the scariest because of the chainsaws. Hey, yeah. The chainsaw character in 4, that definitely does get you going. RE7 was scary, but not that scary. Yeah, I think they're referring to, like, the VR version, because a lot, like, especially the kitchen demo when it was first released. I mean, Resident Evil 7 in VR, I haven't played it myself, but I can only imagine it is pretty crazy. Took my girlfriend over a year to finally convince me to play RE7. Wearing directional headphones while playing it, though, definitely makes it creepier. I haven't done that yet, either. Can you talk about the persistent theme of family across the trilogy? We don't really think of Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, Resident Evil Village, and Resident Evil Requiem as a trilogy. 7 and 8 are a duology. Ethan's story concludes at the end of Village. Requiem is the 9th mainline title, but it's moving back to the series' mainstream, as it were. To push the storyline forward in that sense, I don't think family is a main theme of Requiem. It's part of it, but not as emphasized as the past 2 mainline titles. Part of Grace's motivation is things like finding out what happened to her mother, but that isn't the complete theme of the game. Okay. See, so he's hitting that there's going to be much more to this game than just Grace trying to avenge her mother and figuring out what happened and why she was murdered. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people are kind of thinking that, like, some theories are a little too ambitious and you don't want to get your hopes up too much and be disappointed. This game could just be, like, following Grace, and then, like, it goes through her trying to figure out what happened to her mom and why and all that stuff. He's saying right here that it isn't the complete theme of the game. So there's going to be a lot more to this game that we don't know. Don't do VR. That shit gives me a headache. Yeah, it gives me, like, motion sickness. But yeah, this definitely kind of comes off as, like, there's going to be more to this game than just Grace finding out what happened to her mom. You know what I mean? She's probably going to find out, and I think it's going to unveil a lot more stuff, and Grace is going to get way in over her head, and maybe she almost gets killed the same way or suffers the same fate as Alyssa, but I think people are going to come in and, like, help her out and save her. Because to me, I don't see how she can overcome all this stuff by herself. You know what I mean? Like, overcoming these crazy monsters and all these zombies and these intense situations by herself. She's just an FBI analyst. So I feel like there has to be some sort of way, like, either it's a returning character from the mainline series or, like, she gets some type of help. Like, how else is she gonna get all these guns? Because it said, like, she's gonna be able to take care of herself and find all kinds of guns, as you do in previous Resident Evil games. But, like, how is that gonna happen? Like, these guns just ain't gonna be laying around, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's gonna get some help. Music Boy. I heard someone say you had to play about an hour a day for a few days in a row to acclimate to VR, then it gets much better. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's some getting used to it. Third person RE is better. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their preference. I didn't mind the first person too much, but yeah, I much prefer third person. That's why I'm glad Village came out with that update, even though it's kind of janky, but yeah. It just seems like there's much more to this game that we don't know. What's up, Durham? How you doing, man? All right, so that's that article. So it didn't really talk too much, but it did give us a little bit more insight of like what we can expect. And there's some other gaming news stuff that I want to talk about. They need to add that update to RE7. Yeah, that would be cool. Because, I mean, if they could do it to Village, why not do it to 7? You know what I mean? Maybe it'd ruin the game too much. I don't know. Hopefully being in third person too from the beginning means there are special outfit unlocks too. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's one of the big things in Resident Evil games. You get, like, other outfits and stuff. Even though 7 and 8 really didn't have that. But yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that'd be cool. Make a good point. Ethan third person was janky though. Yeah. In Village. Alright, some other articles I want to go to. Actually, I want to do this one first. So, apparently, Dino Crisis could be getting a revival with a new trademark rating. Brazil-based publication recently came upon a discovery that Dino Crisis has been given the same trademark as Resident Evil Requiem. Finished editing part 2 of my RE2 1998 line that will be out tomorrow. Hey, that's cool. Are you playing OG or remake? Oh yeah, you said 1998 OG. Okay. They should make the classic outfits unlockable. What did I miss? We just went over a Game Informer article about Resident Evil 9. Basically saying that Resident Evil 9 isn't like part of 7 and 8. 7 and 8's its own separate thing, and 9 is bringing it back to the mainline series. And they consider 7 and 8 a duology. And then Dino Crisis was really dope. Yeah. They were hard, man. I don't think I've ever finished a Dino Crisis game. And then they said that Grace finding out like what's going on, what happened to her mom, isn't the main theme. Also, Akira Yamaoka, music composer for Silent Hill, said he's interested in doing music for Resident Evil. Hell yeah. Didn't Capcom purchase the trademark to Dino Crisis like a couple years ago? Yeah, I don't know. I was going to read this. First Dino Crisis was like OGRE, but the second Dino Crisis was an action game. Oh, really? Just fell down the stairs, walking and watching the stream. Oh, man. Not good at multitasking, are we? Be safe, man. This could indicate that something could be cooking that isn't a re-release of the original games. The long-dormant Resident Evil with Dinosaurs entry has... Oh, look at that typo. Has been like the Dinosaurs since its ill-fated, poorly received entry Dino Crisis 3 back in 2003. However, the revival of Onimusha could Capcom be looking to give Dino Crisis a new life. It's no secret that the survival horror games are now the trend in gaming, and while Dino Crisis set the bar for it back in the days of the PS1 and PS2, we haven't heard anything new of the IP in a long while. We can only hope that after many years of screaming in the void, Capcom has finally heard the voices of Dino Crisis fans and decides to revive the long-forgotten IP. I hope so, but I think it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of when, not if. Won't answer questions about it when asked. Shinji Mikami hates Dino Crisis? Really? Yeah, I don't know like how successful it was compared to Resident Evil. I think that's why they're kind of just like focusing on their Resident Evil stuff. And now Onimusha. Dino Crisis 3, yeah. If Grace finding out about her mom isn't the main theme, then could that indicate that Grace's mom isn't the big bad? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, there's probably just a lot more to this story. A lot more to the game that we just don't know about. Is Dino Crisis anything special? I heard it's technically Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs. Yeah, I mean, it's basically, at least the first one anyways. I think the first Dino Crisis is on PS5. I don't know about 2 and 3 though. But it would be cool to eventually see a remake of Dino Crisis. Like I said, I think it's just a matter of when. feel like they're just riding out this Resident Evil stuff. And then maybe eventually, unless they outsource and try to do Dino Crisis. And then we got another article by PlayStation Lifestyle. It says, underrated PS2, PS3 games getting surprise new PS5 releases. Do you highly recommend it and guarantee I won't regret it? It just depends on how much you like the classic survival. I mean, if you like OG Resident Evil, you should like Dino Crisis. Yeah, I remember the demo for it on RE3. In a surprising move, Ubisoft announced the re-release of its long-forgotten PS2 and PS3 games on new platforms, which you can expect to include the PS5. The company entered a strategic agreement with Atari to revive 5 of its dormant IP. Classic Ubisoft PS2, PS3 games getting new lease of life on PS5. The games in question are Cold Fear, PS2, I Am Alive, PS3, Child of Eden, PS3, Grow Home, PS4, and its sequel, Grow Up. So, this is exciting news because I remember playing the shit out of Cold Fear back on the PS2, and I remember playing I Am Alive on PS3. Never beat I Am Alive, but I don't think I beat Cold Fear as well. It's very challenging games. Millions of players have experienced these worlds over the years, and this will open the door for longtime players to revisit those memories while inviting new audience to discover them for the first time. Atari's Deborah Papiernik said in a press release, Atari has such a rich gaming legacy and deep appreciation for these classic titles. We're excited to see how they'll evolve and connect with players in fresh, meaningful ways. Parasite Eve, I've heard of it. How good is it? Yeah, I don't think I've ever played Parasite Eve. This announcement took many, including us, by surprise. There were rumblings of a spiritual successor to I Am Alive back in August of 2024, but we weren't expecting to see all of those classics again. For the uninitiated, Cold Fear is a survival horror third-person shooter. I Am Alive is an action-adventure survival game. Child of Eden, a musical rail shooter, and Grow Home and Grow Up are platformers. So, pretty cool thing. I'm excited for the Cold Fear and I Am Alive. It's going to be a re-release, I'm assuming, not a remake. So, they're just going to probably be upscaled and just re-released on PS5, which is super dope because it's the original game. I feel like they don't actually need remakes, but Cold Fear, the one on the boat or oil rig, I never played. Yeah, Cold Fear was the one where, yeah, you're the, I don't even know his name, but he has like the red vest and like blondish hair, I think. All they do is remasters and remakes. Yeah, there is a lot of those out there, man. But 2 of these games I'm excited for. I mean, older games, bringing back to modern consoles. That's pretty cool. Because I know I Am Alive, you can actually play that if you have an Xbox because they have that backwards compatibility. Seeing gameplay of Cold Fear, pretty much RE, right? Yeah, it's definitely, I feel like it came out right before RE4, I think. And it has like a laser gun, like a laser sight as well, if I'm not mistaken. I remember someone making a video of it and thinking it looked interesting, just never heard of it before. Yeah, I don't know how far I got into it. Played a decent amount. I Am Alive, it's pretty challenging. This is what this is right here, I Am Alive. He has like a shotgun and a bow. I played it on the Xbox, so the backwards compatible, but didn't get too far in it. Didn't get too far. I Am Alive was Tlu before Tlu came out. Hell no. Junior high out of nowhere, I just shouted and all. Hey guys, I am alive. And then I found this article interesting right here. Have you heard of Crow Country? A newer game, but PS1 horror style. I love it. No, I have not heard of that. Bungie's Marathon is getting its longest playtest yet. 30 days, $500 thank you reward. I saw this and was very intrigued by this. So I've heard rumblings about people having access to the game, and I don't see how people like this game. I don't see how people think this is a good game, honestly. I don't mean to hate on it, but it's like, just after the whole Bungie stuff and the exposure of the art theft. But we're gonna read this article. I Am Alive was Tlu before Tlu. Bungie has started inviting select players to a month-long marathon user research study starting next month. Bungie's extraction shooter Marathon is still in active development and has been running regular playtests. After mixed to negative early feedback and the big art theft controversy, Bungie officially delayed the game past its original September 2025 launch date. In the months since, the studio has quietly held monthly invite-only playtests to gather tighter, more regular feedback. Right. Sony has also weighed in on timing, saying it expects Marathon to arrive within its fiscal year 2025 window by March 31st, 2026, while stressing that it's not a firm commitment. Now, it looks like Bungie is getting ready for its longest round of playtesting for Marathon yet. 30 days of consecutive playtest sessions with daily check-ins and cash equivalent thank you at the end of those who completed. So are they paying people to play this game? Is that how bad it is? Artheth is horrible. Also, fuck AI. Halo 1 through 3, Reach, and ODST are the only real Bungie games to me. Exactly. 100% agree. Marathon 30-day playtest dates, times, and rewards. Yesterday, select players received a new email from Bungie titled Marathon 30-day User Research Study. You're invited. The invite outlines a fully remote playtest that runs for 30 consecutive days from Monday, September 8th through Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. Weekends included. Participants are required to play for at least 1 hour per day during the scheduled windows, 3 to 7 p.m. on weekdays and 2 to 8 p.m. on weekends. The message also notes that the recipients were contacted because they'd previously expressed interest in future research opportunities. In addition to gameplay, Bungie will also be collecting feedback through a short daily survey and a weekly survey. As a thank you, players who complete the entire 30-day study will receive a $500 gift card of their choice. If you only finish part of the study, you will only receive a portion of the reward based on the number of days that you have completed. What the fuck? So what if you miss like an hour or you miss a day? I wonder how much percentage you miss out on. Like, oh, it turns out you didn't play for the full time on this day, so you're only getting $5. Email also makes clear this month-long study is separate from the monthly closed playtest, 3 running September 3 to 5. Previous testing invitation reiterates NDA rules. Check out the email below. We really appreciate your participation and valuable feedback in our monthly closed playtest so far. We are reaching out because you indicated interest in participating in future research opportunities. We would like to invite you to join us on a Marathon 30-day user research study. This user research study is a playtest that will run for 30 consecutive days from Monday 9/8 to Tuesday 10/7, including weekends. You will be required to play a minimum of 1 hour daily during the playtest window, 3 to 7 p.m., weekdays 2 to 8 p.m. Study is 100% remote, so you can participate where you are located. There will be a short daily survey. Upon completing the study, you will receive a $500 gift card of your choice as a thank you for valuable time and feedback. If you only complete part of the study, you will only receive... So where in the fuck do they get the funds to, like, send out $500 to pay people to play their shitty-ass game? But it's a gift card. But still, that's like crazy. Not even money, just a gift card, right? How do I sign up? I do enjoy Destiny 2. To each their own. I think it's already been sent out, so you might have missed your opportunity. I don't know. As you may have guessed, getting into this playtest is invite only. If you receive the email, open it, follow the link. If you don't get an invite, there's no public sign up. So, that seems so sketchy to me, bro. Marathon would really earn its name by the end of that survey. Probably a gift card limited to Temu or Shein. That's crazy to me though, but like, cause it's like invite only. You're not even like releasing this playtest to the public, so it almost seems like very tight knit and closed off. Like, it almost like this is basically you paying people to play your game. That's crazy. Get him, buddy. Smoke them zombie bitches. What's up, Hot Jalapeno? It's QA. That just seems sketchy to me, though. To, like, have money involved in a playtest? Because, like I said, it almost seems like a bribe. I don't know. I just don't see any way that this game can succeed after all of the controversy around it. But instead of hiring somebody, you know. Getting desperate for people to play their stuff. Yeah. Very desperate. And it's shown. That's crazy. That's crazy. Screw Marathon. It sucks anyways. That's how bad the controversy is with Marathon. They got to actually have a closed off beta and pay people and give a $500 incentive for them to even fire up the game for an hour. That's crazy. Rather than just having a public demo or a public playtest like how Arc Raiders did or Battlefield 6 and all that stuff. I don't understand why they wouldn't have approached the artist from the beginning like someone really messed up. Oh yeah, they got lazy, man. They just wanted to rip some art off of Twitter. Much easier to just copy and paste somebody else's art than to hire somebody to create it from scratch, right? From what I heard, the beta was poorly received, and as a Destiny OG, I don't even want to play Marathon at all. Yeah. No, it's crazy. Like I said, trying to give people a $500 incentive just to fire that game up for an hour a day. Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess, right? That's how desperate Marathon is and Bungie is to push out these live service games, man. They're so desperate for it to succeed, they're willing to hand out $500 gift cards to fucking Applebee's or something. That's crazy. I'm wondering if they thought the artist would be difficult or something. I feel kind of dumb. I paid for Destiny 2 on disc like a few months before it became free. That's another big thing. Is that Destiny 1 and 2 were released as like full price titles at launch, and then now at least Destiny 2 is free now. I don't know about Destiny 1. Only paid $5 for it. Hey, that's $5, bro. That's $5 you could have saved. 14-year-old daughter is an artist, and I worry so much that if her work gets popular, people will steal it. Can't stand art theft. Hey, that's why you always want to have a what you call it, like a watermark or something. You know what I mean? But I think that's all the articles I wanted to talk about. So I might just jump into the game. Continue our Resident Evil 1 playthrough, you know? Unless some other news comes up. But I don't think there is. If games are going to be live service, they should always be free to play with those store prices they have. Signs Oliver art, that's good. Well, that's the thing though, man. They come off as like free to play, but then they, you know, have that FOMO shit of DLC after DLC or expansion after expansion and microtransactions, and it's like, by the end of it all, you're probably spending more than what you would if you just bought the game as a full price title. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, it's choice based, but like, they influence you heavily to get the stuff because then, like you said, fear of missing out. The content is lackluster. Yeah, it's half-assed, man. Half-baked shit. Like I said, if you ain't watched the video about me exposing Bungie, I definitely recommend watching it. The Bungie's downfall video. This one right here. To me yapping at the screen for like 24 minutes. I posted I know a lot of the Resident Evil stuff's kind of overshadowing it, but if you're interested in all that shit. Capcom should make a multiplayer open world Resident Evil game like RPG, but keep the good Resident Evil perks in it. Graphics third person. Oh yeah, I did. Right on. Yeah, I mean, I think Capcom is missing out if they do not do Outbreak again. That's what I think. They had RE-verse and then it got shut down. Yeah. I guess Resistance is still going though. That's crazy. Survival Unit doesn't look good either. Yeah, I don't do mobile gaming. I don't know what they're thinking with that. But yeah, they definitely need to bring back Outbreak, and I hope if the good reception from Requiem incentivizes them and influences them to bring back an Outbreak game. Because Outbreak was ahead of its time, man. I might try Survival Unit. I'm open to RE games. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not for me. I don't do mobile games. Is it free to play or is it you gotta buy stuff for it? I don't do mobile games either. I can't even imagine the amount of microtransactions. Yeah. Okay, we're back in the game. Shout out to everybody watching, by the way, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to leave a like if you like the stream and subscribe if you're new here, man. We're going to be playing some Resident Evil 1 OG. We're back in the save room. We are at the Residence. Code Veronica remake first, yes. I'm confident that should... Dude, if that's not the next remake, that is insane. Because a lot of people are wanting that before Resident Evil 4. Because in order, you know what I mean, Code Veronica X comes before 4. But they went ahead and jumped to 4. But I think it's just because it was a safer bet, had more popularity. But I was thinking Requiem will do a cliffhanger in the end for Outbreak to return. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Or like a little Easter egg or something. A little hint at it. That'd be cool. Alright, got that gun out. Screw my responsibilities. We gotta push his statue over, huh? See, in the original, it's a box, isn't it? Like a crate or whatever. It's my chill time during the day. Hell yeah. I gotta make sure I get this right. I don't want to, like, mess it up. Dang, it's all the way over there. We might have... Oh, no, we can get behind it. Okay. Okay, we can get behind it. You don't recall this hallway in the remaster? Yeah, it's there. It looks very different, but... Well, not very different, you know. Oh, we nailed it. Boom. OG Director's Cut. Love this one. Yes. Yes. Have you go in here yet? Hey, yo, what's up? Blitzky Wifey's in the chat. How you doing, babe? How you doing, babe? See, I was confused because I came in here expecting to move this dresser, bro. I guess you don't even do that in OG. To go down to the water tanks. Homeschool my daughter and we don't start till after Labor Day, so I'm taking advantage of my free time. There you go. Took the day off so I get a 4-day weekend. Okay, Chris, I see you. You taking advantage of that Labor Day weekend. I want a Mountain Dew. That's about how my day is going. Get you a Mountain Dew. What you waiting on? What you waiting on? Get you a Mountain Dew. Yeah, there's boxes in the original, or the remake, excuse me. Are you playing the emulator? This shit looks way too crisp compared to Iron. This is the PS4 or PS5 version. They just came out. Or no, they didn't. Just came out with this one. They came out with 2 and 3. So, yeah, they released the OGs on PS5. They kind of upscaled it a little bit. I gotta remember where I'm going. We ain't been this way, right? We need that key, don't we? And that book, right? Get that sugar. Plan 42 smacks the shit out of you if you don't cover that hole, yeah. I also don't know if that does damage. Does that technically do damage? 'Cause I remember I was playing one time and like I just kind of just said fuck it and just kept letting him hit me. I don't think it did damage. Got that C room key, baby. Wonder why it took them forever to release the originals on PS4 and 5. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on OG RE2 right now. Nice. That's what I'm thinking. I gotta ask you guys, since I got some of y'all in here, how do you guys want me to do this layout for Resident Evil OG or Resident Evil altogether? Like, should I do original, then it's remake, and then do the original, and then do a remake? So, like, if I play this, what should I do next? Should I do Resident Evil 2 OG, or should I do Resident Evil 1 remake? I'm conflicted here. Huge ass TV with a small screen and a picture that looked like someone spilled milk over the screen. Those were the days. Hell yeah. That big old CRT TVs. Should I play them by release? Like, cause the only reason why I say that is because I kind of want to play OG then the remake, cause I kind of want to do like a comparison video maybe. Do RE2 OG then 3 OG. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I feel like if I hop back and forth between remake and OG, it might be very disorientating. Oh god, there's bees. Not the bees! Not the bees! Control room key in here. Locked. Keep them in order. I say OGs for the sake of the story, I don't know. I personally wouldn't play the remake afterwards because you already got used to the awful tank controls in the OG. Play entirety of the OGs and the remakes. Okay. Do OGs first. OG remake, OG remake, OG remake. I think I might just do the OGs first, get them out of the way. Alright, I don't know if we're... What the fuck? What is this? Dormitory key. Got a lot of time until 9 comes out. You're right. I won't be able to play every single Resident Evil game because, like, we're missing, obviously. We do have Code Veronica, if I'm not mistaken. It won't move at all. It seems to be obstructed from the opposite side. Son of a bitch! Well, we need the 003 key. We got the 002 key. Get the hell out of my dad making him. I think I locked him in a room with wasps and bees. It's fucked up. Where we came from. Not. Wait a second. I saw the statue. Okay, so there's another statue. Okay. Interesting. You have 0. I like 0, but I hate the fact that there are no item boxes. Yeah. That's the downside of it. But yeah, we have 0. Here's 002, and here's the, what is this? Okay. Statue just went through the herb. Fantastic. I don't think I need this yet. Let's keep us Let's keep a spot open. Paybacks for the pranks he did on you? Key is useless now. Discard it. Fantastic. It's just like the other room. Or is this the room that you go underground to the water tank? Holy shit! Back up, man! Shot your arm off. You ain't dead. Ain't no blood. Now you did. Hey, there's a clip too. Is that the Resident Evil game about dieting? Zero? Sorry for this. Zero sugar? Resident Evil Zero Sugar? Is that what you're saying? I like RE0, but I hate that you have to backtrack a lot just to bring all you need. Yeah. Especially the whole hook shot thing. I can't tell you how many times we messed up and left the hook shot behind. Tragic. Make sure there ain't no zombie around this corner. Okay, I think this is where you move this shelf to go underground. Okay, see, I was confused. These rooms look exactly the same. But this one's a little tricky. You gotta push one back and then one to the side. What is this, a file? Plant 42 report. We might need to read this later if we're gonna try and take it out. Unless we do it the old-fashioned way. RE0 Sugar, my favorite video game drink. Zombies are diabetic? Hell no. Alright, we're going under. Going under! Will you descend the ladder? Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm curious how they're gonna remake Zero. Like, what are they gonna change? What are they gonna leave in? What are they gonna take out? If they're gonna add anything? It would be cool to have RE0 remade and actually make it like co-op. That would be sick. You gotta push this one back to push it over, don't you? Almost got me, didn't it? Almost got me. Push it like that. Any co-op RE game would go hard. Any. Some people are actually against it. Operation Javier to be an actual game. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't release that as like a DLC for RE4 remake. So I don't think that's enough for like its own game, unless they expand on the missions, add more missions with Krauser and Leon together. Is this not the director's cut, or is this the different? You're talking about? Yeah, this is the director's cut, so I don't know why. I don't think the shitty music is in this part, is it? Never played RE. Are the stories connected? Like, is Village and Biohazard connected with these? Technically, yes, but it is kind of like its own thing as well. It's very weird. I like how we can open a door in a room full of water. And she's pulling that bitch in, too. Makes sense. We running slow, though. Nothing in this room.